If you want to be a digital nomad, listen up.
You're gonna need internet just like this. We're gonna show you the 2 products that we use to get the best internet in Nomad history.
Frankie and I obviously make our money and our living online, so we need to be able to have internet everywhere we go. And one of the things that we love about van life is that we get to go way off grid. But way off grid, there's no internet. First up is our SureCall cell phone booster. SureCall is gonna boost whatever signal you have. So if you have 1 bar, it turns it into 3. If you have 3 bars, it turns it into 5G. It is super handy when you're like a little bit out of town and you just wanna boost that signal.
For the SureCall, you have 3 components. You have the inside antenna, you have the router, and then you have the outside antenna. Before we test this product, we're gonna show you how to install it. We've decided on the first location for the SureCall cell phone booster. But what we need to do is we need to drill a hole in the space that we want to bring it through, and then we're going to fit this right here is going to fit inside the van, and then this gasket right here is going to seal it by putting this little piece on the inside of the van and pulling it together to create that rubber seal on the roof itself. The line is going to come through this little hole, and then this little hole tightens down to where there's a rubber sealant in there as well, a gasket that's going to seal that hole fully.
Look how pretty she is. It needs to be on the highest point of the roof, which means it needs to be on top of the boards of the deck. That gasket Frank just showed you is gonna be under the boards, and then the actual antenna is gonna be over the board. Frankie is running the line for the SureCall cell phone booster to see if we can mount the component right in the front here. That's only gonna make
this will make it to this side,
and then we'll
have to wire from here down.
Right. So we want to run all the wiring into the walls with the Havelock wool. Obviously it'll be a little bit less accessible. You can like move the Havelock wool to get to them, but that will also help protect the lines from rubbing on the metal pieces. And right now I'm taking the headliner off. One of the components for the SureCall needs to go in the front window, and so we don't want just like a cord hanging out there. We're gonna snake the cord through the headliner, which means we have to take the whole thing off. We had to buy this special tool from O'Reilly's that helps you get the pins out, and then you just need an Allen key to get all the bolts. Got it! This is kind of easier than I was expecting it to be. We got the headliner out, as it turns out. We did get the line through that we needed for the cell phone booster SureCall.
So basically this is gonna be up like that.
I think you pulled it too far.
Huh?
But so this is gonna be, yeah, I'm gonna have to fix it.
So this right here is the end of the SureCall. You have your 12 volt positive and you have your ground on this side here.
Every time we turn this on, we get boosted at least 1 or 2 bars of signal, which is so handy, and we're super glad that we went with the SureCall cell phone booster. Maybe next time we're camped out with some friends, we'll compare our SureCall to the WeBoost and see whose does better.
Next up is the Pep Wave, and the Pep Wave is the game changer. It only has 2 components that you need to install, the outside antenna and the router. We're gonna show you how we installed ours. I had to drill a hole that's gonna allow this piece and the lines to get through there. And then I've also made this little template here, which fits now perfectly where I want it. Here we are. I'm gonna go grab a piece of PVC, show you guys exactly the type of PVC I'm using, and that way you'll know what will fit underneath here. So this here is the piece of PVC that I'm gonna put in. As you can see, that's not gonna fit under the board, but if I take away this whole piece, it's gonna sit flush. So once that's sitting in there flush, it should be perfect. Whew. Drilled the hole, then filed it down. Once again, guys, make sure that you vacuum the crap out of your roof, because you do not want to leave the metal shards from the van on the roof, because it will make little rust dots. Also, make sure you prime the hole with paint. Snug like a bug in a rug. Around that piece, we're gonna hit it with Sikaflex and seal it up as much as possible. That way we don't have any leaks, and we're gonna seal it from the inside as well. That way we make this nice barrier. Since we are just siliconing the piece down, what we did is we took some duct tape and we duct taped it down flush to the roof. That way it doesn't move while the silicone dries up, and then we can put the board over it soon. Right there on that backside is where you can put 2 different SIM cards. To pick 2 different service providers and get the best signal possible.
What the Pep Wave does is it's gonna prioritize whatever 2 SIM cards you have in there. Whoever has the best signal, it'll go with them. When we posted about this on TikTok, people were like, well, why don't you just use your cell phone for internet? Well, sometimes Verizon has great service, sometimes AT&T has great service, sometimes T-Mobile has great service. It depends where you are. When you're traveling so much, you might get into an area where your primary cell phone isn't covered, but the Pep Wave will have your back.
The thing the Pep Wave does is it will boost your signal even 30 miles outside of the service area. We have yet to try this, but we can't wait till we get the opportunity to. So make sure you keep updated with us so you see when that happens.
When you get your Pep Wave started, you're gonna have to log into the interface on the computer. Here you can prioritize which SIM card you want it to work on, and you can also see if there's any open Wi-Fi networks around and snag their signal.
And even though some of those places might have a slower internet, you are boosting it with this antenna, so it picks up the upload speed for you.
Right now we're staying at a Boondocker's Welcome and we're connected to their internet through our Pep Wave. So it takes that signal. If I just tried to pull it up on my cell phone, it would be kind of like a weak internet signal. But through the Pep Wave, it boosts the signal so that it's actually a really strong, fast internet.
An idea, that little guy right there was only 2 bars before I turned on the Pep Wave. Wave boosted it all the way up to 5 bars, and the internet is super fast now.
Do an internet speed test.
Oh baby, oh baby.
Let's see what it does without the Pep Wave.
Do you hear? There's literally 1 bar. So it just goes to show how much.
It literally just said it can't connect to the network.
Yeah, can't connect to network. So basically what that's telling me is that without the Pep Wave, we wouldn't be able to pick up their service.
No, and we wouldn't be able to use their Wi-Fi, which is a great benefit of staying at these Boondockers Welcomes, is that you get to use the Wi-Fi. But without the Pep Wave, we wouldn't even be able to pick it up.
We are pretty far away from the house and able to pick up a huge signal from the Pep Wave.
With these 2 internet providers, we are able to do our digital nomad work anywhere out on the road.
This has been a huge upgrade to our system since the last van build.
In our last van build, it was literally just our cell phones and our hotspots.
It was super hard to upload stuff. We would have to drive all the way back to town and try to find some type of internet.
For us, it is totally worth it because it allows us to work off-grid anywhere. To get any of the products that we mentioned today, check the links down below. If you're in the process of building your van, we want to make this super simple for you. So we put together a whole playlist for you right here that'll take you from buying the van to building it out and living out on the road.